Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Wish you all a very, very blissful, auspicious, spiritually nourishing Shri Balaram Purnima, the divine appearance day of Lord Shri Balaramji. We'll begin with a question. It said, Om. What is the connection of Om with the birth appearance of Lord Balaram in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto? Anyone remembers? Om. Connection of Om with the appearance of Lord Balaram, Srimad Bhagavatam. You think, okay? Then tell me in the end. I was just doing Om Adnyanati Mirandasya, so I remembered. Okay, so let's get started. Hmm. Yes, by the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Sanatan Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are able to read Shri Brhad Bhagavatamrta. Hare Krishna. स्वयं यद्भक्ति महात्म्यम् अनुभूतम् इतस्ततः सानन्दं वीणया गायन् स ययौ भक्तिलम्पटः. Thus, Sri Narad Muni started on his journey to Prayag, intoxicated with eagerness for pure devotion. Wherever he passed, he vibrated his veena and blissfully sang the glories of Shri Krishna Bhakti he had seen with his own eyes. And Sri Narad Muni has left the palace of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka and he's going to Prayag to explain to all the sadhus who have been eagerly waiting for Sri Narad Muni there about his experiences, his realizations in this epic quest. Te pitan mukata sarvam shrutva tattan mahadbhutam sarasangrahino shesham anyat satyo jahurdridam. When the sages at Prayag heard the whole wonderful account from the mouth of Sri Narad Muni, they once and for all gave up all interest in everything other than Krishna's service. Hare Krishna. For they were able to grasp the essence of what is actually of value. Hare Krishna. Whatever traces of attachment to material work and knowledge still lingered in the hearts of the sages were at once cleansed away when they heard Sri Narad Muni's account of his travels. When we hear about great devotees, we get inspiration in bhakti. They were wise devotees and therefore they were able to recognize the essential truth in what Sri Narad Muni told them. Hare Krishna. Kevalam paramam dainyam avalambyasya shikshaya Shriman Madana Gopala Charana Chamupasata. Entering a mood of great single-minded humility, dainyam, paramam, kevalam, exclusive. complete humility, these sages at Prayag began worshipping the lotus feet of Shriman Madan Gopal according to Shri Narad Muni's instructions. Hare Krishna. Shikshaya, according to the Shiksha, instructions of Srimad Narad Muni, Srimat Madan Gopala Charanabja Upasata. They started Upasana, worship of the lotus feet of Sri Madan Gopal under the guidance of Sri Narad Muni, these sages. Commentary by Srila Sanatana Goswami Prabhupada. It is an axiomatic principle, which means established truth of devotional service, devotional science, that what is the truth? That until one rejects everything insubstantial, one cannot grasp the essence of reality. See, if you want to move forward, we have to lift up our feet where they are right now. To catch something, we have to drop something that we are holding. So, to get Krishna, we have to drop material things. Therefore, Anukulyasya Sankalpa, Pratikulyasya Varjanam, it's simultaneous. Pratikulyasya Varjanam, give up what is unfavorable for Krishna consciousness, and Anukulyasya Sankalpa, grasp what is favorable for Krishna consciousness. The sages at Prayag, graced by Sri Narad Muni with ultimate enlightenment, now obtained the total humility, dainya, required for entrance into the mysteries of Prema Bhakti. By honestly thinking themselves unworthy of worshipping the personality of Godhead's lotus feet, they earned the priceless treasure of His favor. This is the thing. When we are dainya, when we are honestly humble, then we get sadhu kripa. Sri Narad Muni gave mercy because these sages of Prayag were humble. They did not consider themselves unworthy. Remember, Kevalam Paramam Dainya. Exclusive, complete humility they had. Because of that humility, they surrendered to Sri Narad Muni. Unless and until we become obedient, we become completely humble in front of a sadhu, one cannot make spiritual progress. Remember, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains this, deals with this question. Why very rich, famous, powerful people don't become devotees in this lifetime? Because they don't surrender to a sadhu, because of their pride. But because these sadhus genuinely had humility, they became the recipients of mercy of Sri Narad Muni, because they bowed down to Narad Muni. They obeyed Narad Muni. Lack of humility prevents us from obeying the words of a sadhu. We second guess them. But when there is humility, one jumps when one is told to jump. And such people are successful. Such devotees are successful who obey the sadhu. Matar gopakishoram tam tvam cha rasa rasam buddhim tat prema mohitabhi shri gopibhir abhito vritam amusham dasyam icchanti tadrisha prema bhangibhi nityam bhajasva tannama sankirtana parayana. Maharaj Parikshit is telling his mother, "Oh dear mother Uttara Devi, you as well should always worship this young cowherd boy." Hare Krishna. This young cowherd boy. Gopa Kishoram. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Nanda Gopa Kumar. Gopa Kumar, Gopa Kishore, young cowherd boy. O mother, Mataha, you should also worship. He is the ocean, Abdhi, Ambudhi. He is the ocean that yields the nectar of the Raslila, Ras dance, Rasa. because nectar came from churning the ocean. So Krishna is the ocean and he gives the nectar, Amrit, of Ras Leela, in which divine gopis fully surround him. Shri Gopi bhi, Vritam, they surround him, entranced by pure love. Prema Mohita bhi, they are Prema Mohit, completely enamored, completely entranced, completely motivated. Prachodayat, by pure love, Prem. O mother, you should cherish the desire to be a servant of these gopis. Hare Krishna. You should constantly worship Krishna in pure love as they did, as the gopis did. And you should dedicate yourself to the Sankirtan of his names. Sankirtana, Nama Sankirtana Parayana. Haribol. Dasyam Icchanti. You should become a Dasi of the gopis, Shri Gopi bhi. Prema Bhangi bhi Nityam Bhajasva. And you should worship in their mood, in the mood of the Vraj gopis, O mother. Which means Maharaj Parikshit is giving Vraj Bhakti, Gopi Bhav, to his mother also. Having finished his story, Shri Parikshit Maharaj is summing up the lesson his mother should learn from it. She ought to absorb herself fully in Krishna consciousness, which in all of its countless varieties derives from and reflects the most perfect love of the Vraj Gopis who join Shri Krishna in his Rasa Leela, Ras dance. God in his original form is Gopakishore. He is a young, playful cowherd. And in this form, he enjoys his original pleasure, Adi Ras, Haribol, Shringar Ras. When the Supreme Lord appears in any other form, that appearance is secondary. Primary is Ras Bihari. Any other form is secondary, manifested to satisfy particular devotees. After hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sri Shukadev Goswami, Vishnunath Parikshit Maharaj understood this transcendental fact. And to make his mother also understand it, he has recounted his first part of Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrta. Perhaps Mother Uttara, the widow of Sri Krishna's nephew, Abhimanyu, might feel uncomfortable assuming the mood of the Vraj Gopis, at least in public. Therefore, Shri Parikshit Maharaj advises her more aptly to strive to become a servant of the gopis. As Shri Parikshit Maharaj here points out, the principal method for becoming a servant of the Vraj Gopis, the gopis of Vrindavan, is Nama Sankirtana Parayana, being devoted to Krishna Nam Sankirtan, immersing oneself in hearing and chanting the names of the divine cowherd boy of Vraj, especially the name Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the best means to practice worshipping Krishna in pure love, chanting his names. And it is the symptom of one who has achieved the treasure of prem. It is the means of achieving prem, and after achieving prem, one continues that. Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. In our Baddha Avastha, we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra to become Siddha. And those who are Siddha, like Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas, they are also chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is chanting, Srila Haridas Thakur is chanting, Sri Rupa Goswami is chanting, Sri Sanatan Goswami is chanting. Same Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the eternality of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is not a Naimittik Upasana. It is a Nitya Dharma. Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtan. It is going on in Golok Vrindavan eternally. Gopina Mahima Kaschid Tasame Kopi Shakyate Na Maya Swamukhe Kartum Merur Makshikaya yatha. Hare Krishna. Very beautiful. Shri Parikshit Maharaj is telling his mother, I cannot describe with my own words even one of the glories of the Vraj Gopis any more than a Makshikaya. Anyone than a mosquito can swallow Meru. Meru Makshikaya Yatha. Just like a mosquito cannot swallow Mount Sumeru, which is thousands of times bigger than Mount Everest, I cannot describe the glory of even one gopis. Gopina Mahima Kaschid Tasam Ek Api Na Shakyate. Not possible for me to glorify the gopis. Aho Krishna Rasavishtaha Sada Namani Kirtayet Krishnasya Tatpriyanam Cha Bhaishadinam Gurur Mama. Oh, but my spiritual master is fully absorbed in the loving moods of serving Krishna. Who is our spiritual master? Shri Shukdeva Goswami. He can constantly glorify Shri Krishna's names and those of Rukmini and Krishna's other beloved devotees. Bhaishmi means Rukmini, the daughter of Bhishmak Maharaj of Vidarbha. Adi means etc. Guru Mama, my Guru. He can Namani Kirtayet Sada. Always he can chant because he is Krishna Rasa Avishta. He is completely absorbed in love of Krishna, in serving Krishna. So he can constantly glorify Krishna and he can constantly glorify Rukmini and Krishna's other beloved devotees. Gopinam vitatadbhuta sputatara prema nalarchish chata दग्धानां किल नाम कीर्तन कृतात् तासां विशेषात् स्मरेत्. Beg your pardon. तासां विशेषात् स्मृते तत्तीक्ष्ण ज्वलनोच्छिखाग्रकणिका स्पर्शेन सद्यो महावैकल्यं सभजन् कदापि न मुखे नामानि कर्तुं प्रभु गोपीनां वितताद्भुतं स्फुटतर प्रेमानलार्चिष्ठटा दग्धानां किल नाम कीर्तन कृता तासां विशेषात् स्मृते तत्तीक्ष्णज्वलनोच्छिकाग्र कणिका स्पर्शेन सद्यो महावैकल्यं स भजन् कदापि न मुखे नामानि कर्तुं प्रभु. Shri Parikshit Maharaj is saying the Vraj Gopis were consumed by the expansive flames of the wondrous blazing fire of love for Krishna. Krishna Prem. If my Guru Shri Shukdev Goswami chants the names of these Vraj Gopis and recalls a Gopi's distinguishing qualities, Shri Shukdev Goswami too is touched by the Kanika, by the sparks shooting forth from these flames of intense fire. And he at once becomes greatly agitated. Maha Vaikalyam. Therefore, he has to avoid pronouncing the gopis' names. Na mukhe namani kartum. Hari bol. Here is the proof why Sri Shukdev Goswami did not utter the word Lalita, did not utter the word Vishakha, did not utter the word Rupa Manjari, did not utter the word Rati Manjari, and definitely did not utter the word Shri Radha. Could not. He would have been burnt in Jwalana, in the forest, not forest, in the fire. of Krishna Prem. Such is the bhavavishtha state of consciousness of Sri Parikshit Maharaj's Guru, Sri Shukdev Goswami. Commentary by Srila Sanatan Goswami. The Vraj Gopi's love for Sri Krishna is unique. It reaches the ultimate extremes of ecstatic intensity, and so it can be compared to a blazing fire inferno. Everything the gopis experience in their lives shines with the light of their Krishna Prem, and the flame like ecstasies from their Prem burns their hearts as flames burn a person who comes too close. Shri Shukdev Goswami is intimately attuned to the mood of the gopis. Sarida, attuned, heart to heart connection is there between Shri Shukdev Goswami and the Vraj gopis, and therefore he is vulnerable to the danger of becoming too ecstatic. How many of you would like to have the danger of becoming too ecstatic? Hare Krishna. Shri Shukdev Goswami is vulnerable to the danger of becoming too ecstatic. इतना ecstatic कि श्रीमद् भागवतम, the service of speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, he would be unable to carry on because of too much ecstasy. In the helpless state of Viraha Bhav, Sri Shukdev Goswami might sometimes become incoherent in chanting the glories of Lord Krishna. The devotional practice, that is his own specialty and the only support of his vital force. If Sri Shukdev Goswami utters any of the gopis' names, he speaks the name of Sudama in the 10th canto in Vraj Leela. Sri Shukdev Goswami. He speaks the name Yashoda, Nanda, Vatsalya Bhakta, Sakhya, Ras. He mentions, because Sridama's name is mentioned. But it doesn't mention Lalita Vishakha Radharani. If Sri Shukdev Goswami utters any of the gopis' names, his heart is at once filled with remembrance of the Vraj gopis, and the scorching flames of Vira Bhav, Vira Agni make him unable to concentrate on his service. 7 days, Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, while reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit, Sri Shukdev Goswami avoided mentioning the gopis' name. Clearly, Srila Sanatan Goswami has mentioned. Many times in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Shukdev Goswami speaks of the activities and ecstasies, but not the names of individual gopis. Because there's ecstasy in the names. Haribol. दुहन्त्यो भिययो काश्चित् दोहम हित्वा समुत्सुकाः पयो धिश्रित्य संयावम् Anudvasyaparayayu. Some of the gopis were milking cows when they heard Shri Krishna's flute. They were milking the cows. They stopped milking and went off to meet him. Some left milk curdling on the stove, and others left cakes burning in the oven. Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the beginning of the last Panchadhyaya, 10:29-5. When Krishna श्रीमन रास रसारंभी वंशी वट तट स्थित कर्षण वेणु. He attracted the gopis with his Venu Madhuri. Karshan means to akarshan, to attract. Kasyaschid पूतनायन्त्याः कृष्णायन्त्यपि बत स्तनम तोकयित्वा रुदन्त्यन्या पदाहन Shakatayatim. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-15. Now in separation from Krishna. One gopi imitated Putana. Kasyaschit means some gopi. He's not taking the name. While another acted like infant Krishna and pretended to suck the breast milk from Putana. One gopi is acting like baby Krishna, one gopi is acting like Putana. Another gopi, crying in imitation of infant Krishna, kicked a gopi who was taking the role of the Shakat, the cart demon. Shaknasur. One gopi becomes baby Krishna and kicks another gopi who is standing over her like Shakat, like the cart. तैस्तै पदैस्तत् पदवीम् अन्विच्छन्तोऽग्रतो बलाः वध्वा पदये सुप्रीतानि विलोक्यार्ता समाभ्रुवम्. The Vraj gopis began following Shri Krishna's path as shown by his many footprints. Taistay padaistat padavim. They started following his footprints. But when they saw that these prints were thoroughly intermixed with those of his dearmost consort, Hare Krishna, they became perturbed and spoke. Hare Krishna. Now again, who is that dearmost consort of Shri Krishna with whom he went away, leaving the others in the Raslila? Shri Shukacharya does not give the name. Ittevam darshayantyastascherurgopyo viche tasah yam gopim anayat krishno vihayanya striyo vane sachamene tadatmanam varishtham sarvayoshitam hitva gopi kamayana Mamasau bhajate priyaha. As the gopis wandered about, their minds completely bewildered, they pointed out various signs of Shri Krishna's pastimes. The particular gopi with whom Krishna has gone, whom Krishna has led into a secluded forest, when he had abandoned all the other young girls, began to think herself the best of women. My beloved had rejected all the other gopis, she thought. Even though they are driven by Cupid himself, Krishna has chosen to reciprocate with me alone. Again, Sri Shukacharya does not tell who the gopi is. Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30, 35 and 36. Tato gatva vanoddesham dripta keshavam abravit na parayeham chalitum nayamam yatra te manah evam uktah priyam aha skandha aruyyatamiti ततश्चान्तर्दधे कृष्णः सावधुर अन्वतप्यत. As the two lovers, Shri Krishna and the chief gopi, passed through one part of the Vrindavan forest, the special gopi began feeling proud of herself. She told Lord Keshava, I cannot walk any further. Just carry me wherever you want to go. Thus addressed, Lord Krishna replied, just climb on my shoulder. But as soon as he said this, he disappeared. His beloved consort then at once felt great remorse. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30, 37 and 38. Kachit karambujam shaurer jagrenja linamuda kachit dadhara tad bahum amse chandana bhushitam. One gopi joyfully took Shri Krishna's hand between her folded palms and placed another of his arm, anointed with sandalwood paste, on her shoulder. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:32.4. Now the Raslila has started. Kachit samam mukundena swarajatir amishritah unninye pujita tena priyata sadhu saditi tad eva dhruvam anninye tasyai manam Jab Adat. One gopi, joining Lord Mukunda in his singing, sang pure melodious tones that rose harmoniously above his. Shri Krishna was pleased and showed great appreciation for her performance, saying, excellent, excellent, sadhu, sadhu. Then another gopi repeated the same melody, but in a special metrical pattern, and Krishna praised her also. This is a description of the Raslila 10:33-9. Kaschittat Tapa Shwasam Lana Mukhashriyah Sramsad Dukula Valaya Kesha Granthyaschakaschana. Some gopis felt so pained at heart that their faces turned pale from their heavy breathing. Others were so anguished that their dresses, bracelets, and braids of hair became loose. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:39-14. Again, no names are mentioned. काचिन्मधुकरं वीक्ष्य ध्यायन्ति कृष्णसङ्गमं प्रिया प्रस्थापितं दूतं कल्पयित्वेदमब्रवीत्. One of the gopis, while meditating on her previous association with Krishna, saw a honeybee before her and imagined that it was a messenger sent by her beloved Krishna. Thus, this gopi spoke to that bee. Hare Krishna. Madhukar spoke to that Madhukar. Madhukar means bee, honey bee that makes honey. Madhu means honey. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:47-11. This is the beginning of the Brahmar Gita section of that chapter. Someone might conjecture that reverential respect for the gopis was Sri Shukdev Goswami's reason for not speaking their names, but Shri Parikshit Maharaj here denies this by specifying that Shri Shukdev Goswami was Shri Krishna Rasavishta, always intoxicated by the spontaneous bliss of Krishna consciousness. It was not out of shyness that Shri Shukdev Goswami was reluctant to mention the gopis by name. It was out of fear of losing control of himself. Hari Bol. Dear devotees, it's 7 o'clock. Krishna willing, we will continue reading Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita tomorrow. Yes, Satyam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, only if you have time, only 2 verses, 1.5 pages more, we will complete the book only, Prabhuji.
Acha. Okay. But Thursday, I have to go to the
Balram
hospital.
Purnima.
But ठीक है, we'll complete. Okay. तासां नाथं बल्लवीनां समेतं ताभिप्रेम्णा संश्रयन्ति यथोक्तं मातः सत्यं तत्प्रसादान्महत्त्वं तासां ज्ञातुं शक्ष्यसि त्वं च कञ्चित् तासां नाथं बल्लवीनां समेतं ताभिप्रेम्णा संश्रयन्ति यथोक्तं मातः सत्यं तत्प्रसादान्महत्त्वं तासां ज्ञातुं शक्ष्यसि त्वं च किञ्चित्. Shri Parikshit Maharaj is saying, Dear mother, if you follow my advice and with pure love take shelter of the Vraj Gopis and their master, Gopijana Vallabh, Lord Shri Krishna, then, O Mother Uttara, I promise, if you take shelter of the Vraj Gopis and Gopijana Vallabh Krishna, then I promise that by Krishna's mercy, you will be able to understand something of the Gopis' greatness. Hare Krishna. I promise you will be able to understand the Gopis' greatness, the Mahatvam. By Krishna mercy, Tat Prasadat. Oh Mata, you will understand. But what you have to do? You have to Premna Samshrayanti. You have to take complete shelter with love of the Braj Gopis and Gopijana Vallabh Krishna, Gopinath. Without first scientifically understanding the special qualities of the gopis that distinguish them from everyone else, one cannot develop the true desire to become a servant of the Braj Gopis. We have to understand their special qualities, their greatness. Only then we'll take shelter. Nor beyond that, one cannot develop the true desire to become a servant of the gopis. Nor beyond that can one realize the supreme truth of their ecstatic worship of Krishna. We have to scientifically understand. Srila Sanatana Goswami is saying, with this idea in mind, Shri Parishit Maharaj offers this promise to his mother. In what he had spoken, he could not have explained to her everything about the gopis' glories, nor could she have been expected to understand completely what he had told her. To gradually realize this deep subject matter, she would have to follow the standard process of devotional meditation. First, she would have to begin practicing worship of Krishna while following in the footsteps of the Vraj Gopis, as her son had outlined in this narration. By this practice, she would acquire some partial understanding. That understanding would help her worship become mature, and which in turn would allow her to know the transcendental reality in more detail, so that finally she would achieve the perfection of prema bhajan. In this way, by worshipping the Supreme Lord Krishna, one comes to know the greatness of the Vraj Gopis, and by knowing the greatness of the Vraj Gopis, one advances in worship of the Lord. This Shastra, Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, declares throughout that pure devotional service to Sri Krishna can be realized only by one who has specific knowledge of both the personality of Godhead and the process of bhakti. Bhagwan and bhakti both we have to know. Nonetheless, when one has learned the glories of the Vraj Gopis, the greatest of all the Lord's devotees, one will automatically understand Lord Krishna and his devotional service, bhakti, Bhagwan and bhakti, without any other effort. By learning the glories of the Vraj Gopis. एतान् महाख्यानवरं महाहरे कारुण्यसारालयनिश्चयार्थकम् यः श्रद्धया श्रयते कथञ्चन प्राप्नोति तत्प्रेम तथैव सोऽप्यरम्. With the help of this most excellent narration about the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, which shows who has received the essence of Lord Krishna's greatest mercy, one can understand Krishna for certain. Anyone who, for any reason, takes shelter with faith of this narration will quickly attain love for Lord Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prapnoti tat prema. One will attain love for Krishna by taking shelter of this narration, Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. To Sri Parishit Maharaj's promise, Srila Sanatan Goswami now adds his own promise. By taking shelter of the Supreme Lord Krishna's devotees, one can understand their special glories, which further leads one to enter particular methods of devotional worship and finally attain pure love for Lord Krishna. You have to follow in the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhakta, that is Raganuga Bhakti, which gives rise to Bhav, which gives rise to Prem. Vaidhi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, Bhav Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. That is a sequence. Kramena happens step by step. This sequence of perfection is wonderful enough in itself. But even more wonderful is that one can achieve the same perfection simply by hearing this Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita with faith. With faith, Shraddha, we have to hear. The purpose of this book, Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, is to make known how Shri Krishna Chandra, the original personality of Godhead, acts as the unlimited source of super excellent compassion. Sincere readers will quickly rise to the goal of Krishna Prem, especially when they conscientiously follow the authorized principles of sadhan bhakti. Thus ends the 7th chapter of part 1 of Srila Sanatan Goswami's Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, entitled Purna, the complete perfection. Thus ends part 1. Okay, so Krishna willing, we will continue reading Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and we will start with the book 2, the story of Gop Kumar. And Krishna willing, we will do Shri Ganeshaya Namaha of part 2 of Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita tomorrow. I need to find the PDF. I don't have the PDF, so I will try to find today. But wish you all a very, very Krishna conscious, blissful Shri Balaram Purnima. And starting this evening, we will have 3 days of Shri Balaram Katha that is going to be at Atlanta. I think all the kathas are 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita ki jai. Srila Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.